Okay, it is 7 o'clock. I'd like to call this March 24th Board of Supervisors Meeting of Rye Township meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance to our flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you could join us in a moment of silence, please, folks. Okay, first thing, if I can ask, if anyone hasn't signed into the attendance sheet, if you could sign in, just so we know who is here, please. That takes us to citizen participation. So this is for items on the agenda. Do we have any at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on to approval of the minutes. These are the board meeting from February 17th, which had been moved up a week early. I did not see any revisions, corrections, anything. Anybody else?
I'm good with it.
Yeah, they look fine to
I'll
me.
make a motion then to approve. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Persons to be heard, Commissioner Frank Campbell. And this is regarding Resolution 26-12, which we will vote on here afterward. How are you?
Great, how are you doing?
Good. Thank you for coming.
Let's see, Frank Campbell, one of your county commissioners. So you received information, this is the actual original signed letter and a copy of the resolution. Okay. So back in 1997, the Board of Commissioners at that time certified Visit Hershey-Harrisburg as the county's tourism promotion agency, otherwise known as a TPA. At that time, there really wasn't an entity in the county that could fulfill that mission. But since that time, the Perry County Economic Development Authority was revitalized some years ago, and they started doing tourism promotion. Economic development in Perry County is going to look a lot different than Cumberland or Dauphin County, so their focus was on our natural assets and that sort of thing. And we felt the regional approach for tourism didn't quite work because of our different inventory of assets compared to Dauphin, Cumberland counties. So anyhow, we started this. Well, over time they did these books and maps, and I have a lot more of these if you need some at some point. So anyhow, about a year ago, we thought we should have our own tourism promotion agency. So since that time, they've formed a 501c3 to do that. And I had been in touch with Visit Hershey-Harrisburg and, told them what we were doing. And in that packet, there is a statement from them that they support what we're doing, but they would like to collaborate in the future because tourists don't really know where county lines are. We have a lot of we have covered bridges, they don't, and that sort of thing. But anyhow, so to go through that whole process, the commissioners, we passed a resolution decertifying Visit Hershey-Harrisburg and certifying the Perry County Economic Alliance, that's the 501c3. So then after we did that, we need to come around to the municipalities to get concurrence. So that's what those resolutions are, you're concurring with our resolution.
Okay.
So, and for whatever reason, we need 65% to decertify and 50% to certify. I don't know why the difference, but that resolution takes care of both actions. And we're going to all the municipalities because, you know, we think all the municipalities should know what we're doing, so.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. Well, and one thing, so back in '97, there really wasn't any base for a lodging tax. But now I think there's well over 100 Airbnbs, and what they're called short-term rentals in the county. So at some point, we may enact a lodging tax to help fund the tourism efforts. But that's a whole nother thing. This is just the decertification and certification process.
Okay.
And it does not obligate the township to any financial responsibility.
Okay. Okay.
That's an important part of it.
Yes. All right. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Were you finished? Frank, I didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Tanya, you have the resolution? Okay, let me read just the bold. Our solicitor has already reviewed it, cleared it. So this is Resolution 26-12, a resolution of the Board of Supervisors of Rye Township, Perry County, Pennsylvania, the municipality in Perry County, Pennsylvania, the county, authorizing action to concur in the decertification of the county's currently designated tourism promotion agency, and 2, designation of a new tourism promotion agency of the county, and authorizing the proper officers of the municipality to take related action. I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 26-12. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Charlie second. All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 26-12 is passed.
I think it's just you and I, that's how they had it set up. Do you need me to scan and send a copy of that up to the Commissioner's office?
Yeah, if you could,
Or I can go make you a copy?
or whichever, if that works for you, or whichever.
Okay.
Should I date this now, or is that
Yeah.
something you'll do?
Yeah, you can do it.
Well,
R6. Tanya. Thanks for coming, Commissioner Campbell.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thanks for the
and
explanation.
I apologize, we should get around to more meetings, but our schedules are just horrendous.
Laura's gonna make it.
Okay, thank you. And if you want any more of those books or maps, let me know.
Okay, those are ours to hang on, and folks
Yeah,
can take a
sure.
look,
Yeah,
okay.
if you wanna leave any here, I'll be glad to put
Well,
them with our stuff.
I'll let them there. I
Okay.
can actually get some more of the books, but I can drop more off.
Okay, all right, I
Okay.
appreciate it. Vicky.
Thank you for your time, and hey, you're welcome to stay and listen to the rest of it.
I'll hang
Thank you.
Thank you, Shirley.
Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Enough meetings.
One meeting's good to yet. We're all about the same.
Jackie, did you need to sign in? Just
No.
If you wouldn't mind, please. Thank you. Okay, that takes us to monthly municipal reports, zoning code enforcement,
It's right there in front of you.
right there in front of me.
That pile is your zoning.
Okay, thank you. This is from JHA, zoning officer report dated March 24th, 2026. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items. No invoice, or no, the invoice, I'm sorry, is here. 2 invoices, okay. First invoice is for $1,323.61. I make a motion to approve payment of that invoice. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Sean second, all in favor? Aye. Okay, invoice $1,323.61 is approved to JHA, and then the second one is for $2,143.75. Motion to approve payment?
I'll second it.
Or-
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna make the motion,
You're
you
making the
second?
motion, I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, payment of $2,143.75. Did you gentlemen want to see?
I did see.
Did you?
Yeah.
Sean? And the 6 items will be up here if anyone wishes to.
There's a copy over there as well.
There is a copy over there. Thank you, Darnie. Sewage enforcement. Who's out there? Thank you, Sean. Whew. No activity, only admin work, February of 2026. Monthly admin fee of $100, invoice, make a motion to approve payment of that invoice. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Sean, second, all in favor?
Aye.
$100 invoice is approved for payment to Frederick Siebert and Associates. That takes us to item C, road report, please.
The guys were out finishing up blast of the snow plowing, we hope. Cleaned up some down trees had some high winds last month. Pretty sure we're done here with the remodel of the meeting room. Let's see, we went over all of the snow plow trucks, grease, top off fluids. Johnny was out a couple of weeks ago with Rick to go over the road bids. Put up a new turn ahead sign at Mountain Road. And then there was one morning we had to skim. They went out and made sure the bridge decks were clear of ice. Installed a new transfer pump on the 500-gallon tank, and met with a fellow from Fisher's to discuss redoing the roof up here, which is in need of a new roof. Filled in some potholes on Miller's Gap, and it did a full service on truck number 3, which was brake parts, pads, rotors, that whole stuff. That was one of the smaller trucks. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you, Charlie.
Was it a good month? We didn't send a truck to the shop? We didn't have to send a truck to the shop, or it was a good month? Okay.
That is a good one.
And we're getting a little wiser. We
Okay.
called Fisher's and they
Okay.
delivered. So
Okay. Good
Okay.
deal.
we're getting better.
Good deal.
Okay, emergency management report, I don't see Jim or Kurt here, so assuming we do not have one. Financial treasurer's report, Tanya.
Okay, February 1st balance on mid-pen general checking was $204,921.34. We had one voided check, which was $2,930.74, leaving us a balance of $207,852.08. Receipts totaling $253,288.10, which included 2 CDs that we had closed in February. Expenditures totaling $215,811.10, leaving us a balance of $245,329.08. Interest earned $221.18, ending balance $245,550.26. Penny and Bank general checking had interest only, leaving a ending balance of $2,314.18. Bank of Landisburg general savings account had interest only, balance of $2,536.93. Liquid fuels checking at mid-pen, interest only activity, ending balance $9,952.61. Bank of Landisburg liquid fuels money market savings, interest only activity, ending balance $2,722.93. And actually, I missed, the highway aid money came in, and I missed putting that on there. no, it came in the beginning of March, never mind, ignore me.
Okay.
PLGIT, sorry. PLGIT, the two CDs that had matured were put into PLGIT, into the prime account. Starting balance was 246.30.51. The road project CD number 2 was $66,200.20. Solid waste CD was $75,981.13, leaving a balance of $388,211.84, and then interest of $757.79. Ending balance as of March 1st was $388,969.63.
Thank you for the time. Delinquent trash. Oh, well, for Secretary's report, yes.
Okay, so you all have a copy of this.
Yep.
So, delinquent trash accounts, as of February 24th, 2026, we had an additional 5 lien letters that went out to owners that the tenants had delinquencies. We have placed additional liens since then. Since we started the collection, the delinquent account collection in December, we've collected over $9,400. Building updates. So all the rooms are completed except for the file room that's off the office. We haven't done anything in that room yet. This outside door will get painted soon since the weather's starting to get warm. Our total cost to date for the total work that was done was $2,284.08, which included a new mini fridge and vacuum. Okay, so the PCard program, the PLGIT. I created a policies and procedures manual. It was reviewed and amended by the solicitor, and I need a motion for you to adopt that so that we can move forward with that.
Do you want to do that now, or is that further down?
I gave you all a copy last month.
Yeah.
No, I just put it on here, hoping you could do it in the treasure. And it's up to you if you want to do it now or if you want me to add it later.
Well, let's do it now. Good with doing it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you did give us that.
Yes, I gave it to you last month, a copy of it last month.
Yeah, and it all looked fine to me. Any comments?
Yeah.
That was fine.
Okay, then, motion to,
I'll make a motion to approve.
second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you for taking care of that, Tanya.
Mhm.
Appreciate that.
So the last step for that is that the supervisors need to set spending limits for each card so that I can get the cards ordered. I'm recommending between $750 and $1,000 per card, and then a general township card that anyone, like if you guys were going to a conference or something, anyone could use that's authorized through the township with a $2,000 to $3,000 limit. And I gave an example of why I'm asking, because I know we had talked about $500 before. We had a broken mirror on one of the trucks from whenever we had that real heavy snow where the limbs were all hanging down. And the previous vendor that we used sold out to a new company. So in order to order the mirror, we had to open a new account with them for a $600 purchase. I requested a $1,000 credit limit, and they gave us a $100,000 credit. So as soon as this check is received by them, I will be closing that account. But that's an example. Things are just so expensive.
Yeah.
$500 just isn't gonna cut
Cut
it.
very much,
Yeah, yeah.
So, it's up to you if you make that motion now. I do think I put that, yes, I did. I put that under old business, letter B, so that you weren't on the spot.
No,
You can
that's,
think about it for a couple minutes, but we need to move on this, because,
well, yeah, I have no issue with it, as you recommended it, but let's hold it till, so
Okay.
that it just continues to flow and we can address it.
all right,
Yeah.
proposed in-house trash billing. So, I did an online demo of the AccuFund utility billing portal, and I think it would work really well for our needs. I've been working with MidPen to verify that the ACH transfer would work with their system. And this would allow residents to set up auto pay with an approved form and signatures for trash billing, so that they could just automatically be withdrawn on a certain day of the month of their choosing. And there's no cost for this service with AccuFund or MidPen. MidPen would also supply a check scanner that could be used to process check payments and would eliminate the need to run to the bank for deposits for trash billing. There's no cost for that service either. If in-house trash billing is implemented, we would aim for a transition to happen when the PAM contract expires on April 1st, 2027. We would run a side-by-side billing with PAM's for the first quarter of 2027 to verify that any glitches are worked out prior to going live with the in-house billing. Since then, yesterday, I found out, I emailed PAM's requesting a copy of the statements for some of the residents that set up payment plans for their delinquent trash bills. I in turn got a phone call from PAM's stating that they now charge the customer $25 is added to their bill anytime we need a statement or the customer needs a statement. So I expressed my displeasure with that and noted that we were not informed of that change prior to yesterday, and that I was not happy about it, and that we were planning at some point to bring billing in-house anyway. To which about 10 minutes later, I received a phone call from the president of the company, PAM's, taking responsibility for not notifying us and trying to explain to me why it was necessary to do the $25 increase. So I sent a copy of our agreement with PAM's to the solicitor's office asking for their review if we have to wait until April of 2027, or if we could try to implement it by the end of this year. I have not heard back yet. But what I would like from you all tonight is a motion to proceed with the in-house trash billing so that I can get started on getting the program in and start getting, because there's gonna be a lot of data entry work, because I wanna make sure we have everything before we.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sean, as solid waste superintendent?
I will make a motion to proceed with the in-house trash billing, because that $25 stuff is only probably gonna get worse. I mean, that's my take on the whole thing.
Every time you need to inquire about something.
They're gonna,
Yeah.
that's wrong, I'm sorry, but that's,
In most cases, you've already got a customer or resident that's in trouble. so-
right, so you're gonna pile
They
on
don't
to
need any more.
they don't need any more, yeah,
Yeah.
so.
Thank you for taking the initiative to make all this in-house billing happen.
I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, so, Sean makes the motion, I'll second, all in favor?
I'm in favor.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so I'll keep you updated as to how soon we can move ahead with it. April would be my last, April 1st would be my,
Of 2027.
that would, yeah, that would,
Absolutely, yeah.
the drop dead date.
Yeah.
But if by
You can do it a
chance
quarter-
we can
you
do
it a
it,
quarter sooner.
if we could do it for the end of the year, yeah. Along with that, we will be separating, and I'll come up with a resolution for that here soon. We're gonna need to separate the solid waste from the general fund, which we should do anyway. It's much cleaner
Mhm.
with the audit.
They probably would appreciate that.
Yeah. So the other thing then was, I had proposed an amendment to Resolution 10-13 for the purchase order policy of 2010, or a motion to eliminate purchase orders. I did not know that this existed until the audit happened, because nobody ever said anything to me about it. If we're going to just revise it, it should align with the PCard program limits for purchases. The current resolution is for purchases over $50, a maximum of $500, and then board approval for over $500. The treasurer can sign off on POs up to $100. So I have a resolution that I created that's just basically blanks for the dollar amounts. This could wait till next month if you would like. I can get you all a copy of this, or whatever you want to do.
I personally don't see a benefit to holding off.
No, let's just.
Uh,
If we're gonna change it anyhow,
Yeah.
we might as
Numbers
well.
you've recommended, and then we'll fill those in and we'll make the motion.
Okay.
Well, can you fill?
All right, do you want me to just read
Yeah.
it and you can tell me what to put? Okay.
Oh, well, no,
How
what
do
you
you-
have here,
Okay, so purchases over the amount of blank dollars require
A purchase.
a purchase order. This is, it's very detailed going down through here.
okay. Are you saying, should we hold till next month? till
To
you-
review,
let-
yeah,
Okay.
to see how
that's
this
fine.
fills
Let's do
in,
that.
or if we need to revise this in
Okay.
general.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
fine.
So I'll have that for next month.
Table that.
Okay, we
Next month.
make a motion to table that, second,
I'll second.
all in favor? Okay, that motion is tabled, thank you, Tanya, for putting that together, and we'll
Okay.
complete that next month.
Just a little bit more. Advertising for the 2026 road bid projects was completed on March 5th and March 12th. The bid packets have already been mailed, they were mailed on the 5th, and the bid opening will be at the April 28th meeting. Exterior building painting project is to begin in May. I received 2 quotes,
Excuse me.
which are here. I know I've discussed these with all of you before, but here they are. Osherman Painting quoted $18,390, and Turner and Sons Painting quoted $5,720.
Were they using gold flake?
I'm requesting approval for the quote of $5,720 from Turner and Sons Painting, which would include power washing, primer, paint on the exterior siding, soffit, and all doors. We will have a 1-week notice prior to start, and they would do it in May.
Okay. Any
And that
questions,
was in the
comments?
budget.
Can I look at?
We had
can I look-
budgeted that.
Just look at their. Now, did they both quote to do exactly the same amount of work to the same, to work on the same sections of the building?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I'll make a motion to accept, well, let Charlie read it. but- So the other option was gonna do it for 2 days.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the quote from Turner and Sons for $57.20 for painting on the township building.
I'll
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Yep, do we need a signed contract, or what do we
No.
do to enter into, just,
No, I'll take care of
okay?
it.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
thank you.
I requested written quotes for a new roof on the township office garage building, as well as the material shed and extension over the salt and cinder area, which we need to do some more investigating about that. We need some repairs done to the existing supports in the salt shed. They're eroding desperately. So I did have one here, the other one has not called me back yet. If I don't hear from him soon, I'll reach out to someone else, but I haven't gotten the quote back yet.
Okay.
So, so in my spare time, I completed a review of all the trash accounts with a comparison to the real estate tax billing. I found several addresses that are not paying for trash. I'm working to resolve those accounts, also working on a review of all the senior billing residents, and I would like to implement a routine schedule of review of the senior rate residents to be sure they're still qualified. Because I believe that a lot of those people have passed, and whoever's living there is now still paying the senior rate. So I'd like to have some discussion with you, Sean, about some
Yeah.
ideas on how we can
Okay.
come up with a form and mail out, or how
Or
exactly we
something,
need
yeah.
to, we need to implement that.
A verification.
A verification of, yes, not to
this
take
is
it
the
away
case,
from them
yeah.
if they deserve it, but just to be sure
Verify
that
that.
they still qualify for it.
Yeah.
Okay, I discussed direct deposit for employee payroll with AccuFund IT personnel as well as the bank and auditors. All were good with the transition. So, I talked with the employees and they were all in agreement, and, if supervisors are okay with it, I would like to have a motion to move to direct deposit for payroll.
I'm okay with it, I'll make that motion. Is, any concerns, comments?
I don't know, I have direct deposit.
Yeah, that's just
I mean,
it.
all of us probably have direct deposit.
Businesses today.
I mean, that's
Okay,
it. I
I'll
mean,
make a
I'll-
motion.
I'll second it.
Sean second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that motion is approved, thank you, Tanya.
That's it. That's all I got.
That's easy. Well, this is perfect, thank you for putting this together, this is gonna be a huge help. Okay, that takes us to the bottom of the page, resolution 26-13, highway aid deposit from checking to a 3-month CD at mid-penny at 3.75% interest.
Yeah, so we got our highway aid money in the beginning of March. And it's in the money market account, which is getting 0.8%. I'd like to move it into a 3-month CD
Yeah.
to get the 3.75 until, which would bring us till the end of June.
Be close to the time we need
Yeah,
it.
close to the time that we
Okay,
need it,
yeah.
so that's what I'd like to do.
Okay, make a motion to approve resolution 26-13, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Charlie second, all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 26-13 is approved, thank you, Tanya. Takes us to resolution 26-14, records destruction per the state municipal records manual.
Okay, so, back shortly after I started here, we adopted the municipal records manuals, the state manual. And Laura and I have been spending a time sorting files and getting them ready for this. So rather than give you a whole pile of files listing at one time, what we decided to do was break it down by the large quantities of things. For example, delinquent trash collection documents from 2020 and older, because the retention is 5 years. So make a broad general statement with a bunch of things just to clean out the stuff that's easy, and then start going through more specific things. So if I could just read to you, I don't know if Bruce wants to review this, it's standard off of PCard's website. Okay, so it's delinquent trash collection 2020 and older, retention time is 5 years. Invoices and payments for capital construction, we only have one file, it's dated 2003, 2004. The retention is 7 years. General correspondence, ads and bulletins are until they're no longer of administrative value. Insurance policies 2020 and older, they are only valid for 6 years after expiration, and ours are all 1-year policies. Liquid fuels tax records 2019 and older, so they're 7 year. Oath of office for municipal officials, 2020 and older, the retention time is 6 years. Proof of publication 2016 and older, that's 10 years. Recycling program records 2016 and older, and that's a 10-year. Sales and use exemption certificates 2022 and older, it's 3 years from the end of the year that they expire. Survey of financial condition, which is DCED report, 2021 and older, those have to be retained for 5 years. Treasurer's bond, 2019 and older, that's a 7-year retention. Right to know requests, 2023 and older, it's a 2-year retention. Treasurer's reports, 2019 and older is a 7-year retention. Accounts payable files and ledgers, 2019 and older, it's a 7-year retention. Accounts receivable files and ledgers, 2019 and older, it's also a 7-year retention. Annual audit and financial records, which is a DCDE report, 2021 and older, the retention is 5 years. Bank statements and reconciliations, 2019 and older, the retention is 7 years. Check registers, 2019 and older, retention is 7 years. Daily cash records, 2023 and older, the retention is 3 years. Deposit slips, 2019 and older, the retention is 7 years. Investment records, 2020 and older, the retention is 6 years. Quarterly federal, state, and local income tax withholding, 2021 and older, the retention is 4 years. Time card and attendance records 2022 and older, the retention is 3 years. Unemployment compensation records 2021 and older, the retention is 4 years. PERDA reports, which is public utility realty, tax reports, 2019 and older, retention is 7 years. Tax bills and paid receipts, 2019 and older, the retention is 7 years. Tax collectors monthly reports, 2019 and older, retention is 7 years. And tax duplicates, 2019 and older, the retention is 7 years.
That's quite a list.
But this would give us a chance to clean out a whole lot of stuff all at one time, and then we can narrow down the rest of the piles.
Okay. You mentioned a lot of things, and you may have mentioned it. Personnel files. I know we've got some
Personnel
folks
are-
way back when.
Personnel files, I'll have to do a little more research, but I am fairly certain they may be permanent.
In perpetuity.
Okay.
Yeah, we do have, there are a number of things that are listed as permanent documents,
Okay.
and, those things, obviously, we won't touch. And what we were planning to do is put those items in boxes labeled permanent files and what exactly is in those files. And once we get through this floor, we still have that floor to do.
Yeah. And why I was thinking personnel files is because we've got records on some folks that served here back in the days when birthdays, social security numbers, all of that stuff was recorded. I just want to make sure
Well,
that
we were going to
protect that.
try to shred, obviously, anything that has any pertinent information. The guys also burn things for us sometimes. We did have a resident mention it would be nice to have a shred event here, but I haven't had time to dig into that yet.
Yeah, that's,
But to host a shred event, a one-day event. So I have not had a chance to research that yet, but, we have 2 shredders here and a burn barrel, so
yeah,
things aren't gonna just go in the trash, that's what I'm saying.
well, none of that compares to a commercial shredder though, so, I mean, as far as speed and efficiency.
Right, this is, I mean, we're gonna have to do it just a little bit at a time with what we have here. But it needs to be done.
And is there any differentiation between paper copies and electronic copies of things?
This is all geared toward paper copies.
Okay.
The electronic part is a little different.
Okay.
A lot of this stuff we don't have electronically.
Are we legally allowed to convert it to electronically and then dispose of the paper just
Well,
so it's
yes,
easier
you
to
could, yeah,
manage?
you could do that.
Okay.
But there is a process for eliminating
The
electronic files as well,
records,
yes,
yeah.
Okay.
yes.
Okay, for right now, we need a resolution 26-14. I'll make that motion. Second.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Sean second, all in favor, our motion, resolution 26-14 is approved.
Thank you. The
Thank
building
you.
will get
Thank
lighter.
you. Well, that's true. Yeah,
There's a lot.
Yeah, but that won't,
that's, yeah, the stuff upstairs.
There's a
that's
lot of
just-
stuff.
We'll get
yeah, but we
to
need
it.
ballast to hold it down during a tornado though.
True, true.
Okay, that takes us to old business. Bid award for bulk spring cleanup.
So I created a spreadsheet for you because this was just, done by RFP. It's your next
Okay.
document.
Yep.
But here are the bids as well.
Okay.
And I just broke it down for you.
Casella, is that how they pronounce Casella Waste, Tiger?
Yes.
Okay. So we have 3 bids from Sylvester's, Casella Waste, which used to be Tiger, and Waste Management. For delivery fee, ranges anywhere from $125 to $0 from Waste Management. Hauling fee, $125, $310, or $274. Total cost, tipping fee.
Do you have a handy, how many dumpsters we had last year?
10.
Okay.
What's it?
No. Kids can't get out and pick each other.
So did you do the quick math, or Sean's doing the quick math?
Sorry,
That's all right, I was trying to add it in my head and I couldn't
Yeah, I'm
keep
doing the
track
same
of.
thing here, it's like,
And the
Wow,
tipping
that
fees
one
were
is
10.
really
yeah.
way out of line.
oh, actually, you know what? Yeah,
Your tipping fees per ton.
yeah,
So that's gonna be a variable,
yeah.
depending on how many tons on each roll.
How many? Yeah.
Give your phone.
Mhm.
What's 310 times 1.1?
Yeah. Do we have any idea what the average weight is for one they pull?
No, but is it gonna make a difference? I mean, aren't they?
Yeah,
the same?
they're all pretty close.
356.
I mean, this is, it looks like this is.
Yeah,
Yeah. 356.
yeah, I don't see how it would make it.
Yeah, that's not gonna make, well, it's, theirs is cheaper than everybody else's too.
Always done a good job before.
Yep,
Yeah.
use that too.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Solid
not who
waste.
you usually use. You usually use that one.
Oh, well, yeah, they have done, yeah,
But
but
we have used Sylvester.
we have, yeah.
I'm thinking we have.
No, we, I
Not
know.
recently.
Not recently, but we have, yeah.
Yeah, in the past.
Looks like it's time again.
Yeah, I think they're the winners.
Make a number.
I'll make a motion that we award the bid to Sylvester Services.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Could you read his numbers, please?
Yeah,
Is that appropriate?
I think.
I
Oh,
mean,
I
you've
think 'cause it
already
was a meeting.
discussed it, so, yeah, I
Is
don't.
that, we've got.
This was an
3 competing
RFP,
bids.
it
Can we-
wasn't an actual, but it's public information.
Yeah, it's okay, if you're accepting it now, sure.
Okay, delivery fee, 125, hauling fee, and this is full Sylvester's. Hauling fee, 125,
For a total.
for a total of 250 for those two, and then the tipping fee is 100 per ton.
Did he put fuel on, did you say?
He did not,
He
he
did
did
not.
not
No,
charge
no.
a fuel surcharge.
So the total is 125 a pull?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, all right, Tanya.
Okay. Takes care of that. Tanya, that back, thank you.
Could you read the waste management just for,
Oh, sure.
Please.
Again, Bruce, it was not a winning bid. It's still okay to?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
It's not really a competitive bid situation anyway, so.
Okay. Delivery fee, 0.
okay,
Hauling fee, $274, for a total cost of $274. And then tipping fee, $119 even. Per ton.
Yeah.
And then, similar to Sylvester's, no
No
fuel
fuel
surcharge.
okay, all right, good.
Does that help?
Thank you so much, I
Okay,
appreciate
thank
it.
you.
I appreciate the work in the last couple of years.
Oh, sure.
I do,
Sure.
thank you.
Very well. Okay, now, Tanya, we were back at that set the limits for the PLGIT purchases. Thanks for coming, folks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I gotta get my hands back on my report. I've got too much paper. I think it was,
You don't mind?
sorry.
That's okay.
I don't know what I did
It's
with
okay.
it.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, so I recommended between $750 and $1,000 per card. That would be for Johnny and Willie and myself.
Okay.
And then, just a general tent card, it would, those cards would have our specific names,
Name,
so it would
okay.
be specific to us.
Right.
And then the township card would just say Rye Township.
Okay.
And I said between 2,000 and 3,000. So just to clarify, since it's been a while since we talked about this, whatever the sum of those funds are would go into a separate PLGIT account that anytime we make a purchase, it would draw off of that money. We would get interest on what's unused, and then at the end of the month, I would reconcile those receipts to make sure everything balanced. And then I would, as a means of paying those bills,
You-
deposit that money back in to start the next
yeah,
month.
Right. to
Yeah,
keep-
that's how
to
it
keep the-
works.
To keep the baseline
Right.
total.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, just to, the individual cards, you're recommending between $750 or to $1,000.
Right.
And for the township card, $2,000 to $3,000. Myself personally, I would say the first one, $1,000, just to keep it even numbers.
Yep.
And the second card, $3,000. What's the harm, 2,000 or 3,000? 3,000.
You might as well make it 3,000.
Yeah, so it's 1,000, I'll make the motion for 1,000 and 3,000. Second,
Sounds good, I'll second it.
Charlie second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tanya.
I'll get that moving.
And then item C, the IT project proposal.
So I'm pretty sure I had forwarded this to everyone ahead of time. I'm just not sure if you got, how much you could read of it.
Did
from-
see some of it.
Okay. So we had an IT person come in. Thankfully, he did a wonderful job with my email, and I actually have breathing room. Thank you.
Good, good.
Do you want to, like, how do you want to do this? Because there's a lot of information here.
Well, we haven't been through something like this before. Well, so I think we can go to page, second to last page probably. Let's see, so, because we could discuss the options. And I don't want to put this on you without having seen, again,
Unless you want to review it and bring it back to the table next month.
that's up to these two. I've seen it enough, but again, only because you and I have
Yeah.
been working on this. We need help
Would it
with
break-
IT.
Well, I know we
so-
do. I know we do.
Yeah.
Would it break your heart if we tabled it till next month?
not in the least.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
it
think
won't
that's a
harm
good
you in any way.
recommendation,
Yeah,
no, I
very-
think there's a lot here to digest,
Yeah,
and
Yeah, I mean, I read over it, but that doesn't,
Yeah,
retention is horrible.
as long as, so now, again, this is a person that I work with, so that's why I
Yeah.
selected him or went to him first, because
Yeah.
I know he knows what he's doing, just
Right.
based on my own experience with
Right.
working with him. So I did tell him, hey, you know, until we get this officially approved, we can't make payment
right.
to him.
Yeah.
But, I don't know if you wanna call it a gentleman's agreement or what, but he's been helping out a few hours with Tanya, and
Which is
so we should at least make some agreement that he will be
Yeah.
paid.
Compensated for his
Compensated
time.
for his time.
Yeah.
I was to the
That,
point where
so-
I could not send any file. If I had to send a right to know request to Bruce to review, I would have to send it in 5 emails. Because I'd have to scan just a couple of pages and send it. Bruce can
Yep,
tell
yep,
you,
mhm, yep.
because my email was so full.
Oh, my.
And I kept trying to delete things that were unimportant, but you know, after a while, you get to a point where there's just,
Nothing else
Right.
to, you're down
Yeah.
there.
so,
Okay,
Yeah, so we were kind of up against the wall with
with that.
getting, because we were kind of locked up.
Well, that's bad,
So,
yeah.
yeah,
now.
and Tanya was not able to function.
As
properly,
productively
so-
as what you should have been able
Yeah,
to.
so if you wouldn't mind taking a look at it till the next meeting, then.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wonderful.
you need an official motion to table it till next one?
yeah. since it's
I'll
on
make
the
that
agenda.
motion to table it until next month. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Charlie, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, IT modernization and managed support is tabled until next meeting. Thank you, Tanya. New business, approve the 2025 Planning Commission Annual Report.
So I'm assuming that you guys usually, Sean, you're the only one that, I
already
was
read
not
over it.
copying 17 pages
Yeah.
for them to review. It's basically a summation
Of
of what the
everything.
planning commission did in 2025.
Yeah, you can, if you wanna give it a cursory
Yeah, I-
review, I mean,
Very exciting
That's
stuff.
more than Diane said when she did it, she just hit the highlights.
yeah, it's very.
Well, I tried to, but the
Doesn't
problem
matter.
is,
It,
when they are writing information about what's going to go in the changes for the
Mhm. It
subdivision
takes-
and land
takes a-
development,
it
you
takes a
can't
lot.
you can't make a summary of it, you have to cut and paste because it's important.
Yeah.
So that's why it got as detailed as what it did, or as lengthy.
If you are on Planning Commission, do you wish to make the motion?
I'll make a,
You-
I'll make a
you're the one
motion,
that's
I'll make
closest
a
to it.
motion to accept it.
Okay.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, Planning Commission.
It's all about.
Annual
Yeah.
report with great thanks to them for all they do.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Thank you for that. Campbell, water issue on New Valley Road. So, yeah, we got some information from Max. Tanya,
I gave you each a copy of the report from
Yeah.
Max. And, I know I reviewed with each one of you what little bit of documentation I
have-
was able to find here at the office.
Yeah, so this, I got a call, and I think you got the call also.
I got
One of us got it
this.
first, and,
We all,
We were all.
oh, you got the call, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Water was.
several calls.
Water was
Several.
running into the basement, is my memory of,
Yes,
the
Campbell.
Campbell property
At 1961.
at 1961 New Valley Road. And what had occurred, Veolia had bored a new line under New Valley Road, and I don't know, water, I don't know if we want to call it stormwater just yet, but water that was at one end of the pipe now decided, instead of continuing on to the tributary that drops off into Fishing Creek, the water decided to follow that new borehole and flood the basement out. So we were there with EK Services and Veolia,
Yeah.
and JT Graupensberger had come out to also advise on the problem. I called Max Stoner, our engineer. Long story short, Max took a look at plans and township pipes and all that's going on, and his recommendation is that it is not a township issue. It is something between, it's a problem that was created by Veolia and their contractor, EK Services, but the township doesn't have anything that we can do to rectify the situation. So I'll just read his findings here quick. During my March 6, 2026 site visit, I found the township installed HDPE pipes and inlet along the south shoulder and across New Valley Road to the east of Glenn Campbell property at 1961 New Valley Road were intact and operating as designed. The location of the new corporation on the existing water main on the church property and the curb stop valve and valve box on the Glenn Campbell property were identified. The corporation stop on the water main is located south of the township installed HDPE pipe in the paved south shoulder of New Valley Road. The soils in the area appear to be saturated in alluvial nature. There appear to be continued snow melt runoff from recent rain events, although most of the snow had melted by this date. The Glenn Campbell house is located at a spot vulnerable to storm water runoff due to being situated lower than New Valley Road and the church property on the south side of New Valley Road. In addition, there is an unnamed tributary to Fisher Creek, which is located close to the east side of the house. The water service line intuitively had to be installed under the shallow stormwater pipe, or else it would be a freezing problem with the service line. A hand-dug small ditch had been dug to try to divert surface water from ponding around the house foundation and intruding into the basement. Conclusion recommendation, let's see if I can shorten it. My opinion is that this is, and again, this is the township engineer, Max Stone. My opinion is that this is not a township issue, except that it adversely affects the township residents. My recommendation is that Glenn Campbell contact Veolia and press them to rectify the situation in a manner similar to my recommendation. The township can provide support by stating in writing that the township stormwater facilities are operating as designed, and there is no obligation for the township to fix this issue. Yeah, so whatever we can do as the township to support the Campbells in that with this documentation, because our engineer's already done the work. So we need a motion for that. Don't know, it's
I have
just,
not been in touch with them at all, so
Bruce, do we need a motion on, or just,
What do you
just that the
want?
township will give, provide this documentation to the property owner
Sure, that's fine.
in support of their efforts to,
Rectify the
Okay.
situation
Rectify the
with the
situation
water company.
With Viola and, yeah. And I guess it's really, is it an EK Services, are they also in
Well-
it? Or because it's, Veolia is the company that contracted them, so it's really on Veolia, I would
I
imagine.
think Veolia contacted EK to come out and do the digging,
Yeah.
because they were already there the first time.
Well, who actually, do we know who actually punched who bored under the New Valley
Well, the water company did.
with the Veolia? did?
Well, but who did the work? I thought it was EK.
No,
I thought it was EK that did it
well, it doesn't necessarily matter.
with
They-
Veolia.
they-
Right.
They were working on behalf of
Okay,
Veolia,
EK
so,
probably ran the bull through the.
yeah.
Yeah, they were a subcontractor for the
Yeah.
water company.
Yeah, but the-
It's between them and the water company if they
Yeah.
wanna fight it out.
Yeah, the gentleman from Veolia did make the comment to me that evening that, yeah, we put these in all the time.
Yeah.
1 out of
One
100
out of 100.
has this problem. So it's a potential problem, and here it is, it showed up. So yeah, so I'll make the motion that the township supports them with, supports the property owner, Campbell's, with this documentation, Max's report.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you, Tanya. Is this our copy to
Yeah.
hang on to? Thank you. Okay, item C, advertise for bids, two recycling roll-off dumpsters. Oh, and this is for the equipment that we have. Advertise for bids for the 2 recycling roll-off dumpsters and the 2006 Big Tex trailer.
yeah, so we had talked about this with the budget process, but it kind of came up with cleanup coming up, those containers are gonna be in the way, and I don't know that we can get them out of here before, our meeting is April 28th, and cleanup is May 1st and 2nd. But I thought it was at least worth a try, so, I wrote up an ad, Rye Township, Perry County is accepting sealed bids for 2 34 cubic yard roll-off containers with 5 compartment locking mechanism and closed tops for recycling. Rye Township, Perry County is accepting sealed bids for a 2006 Big Tex trailer model, 60 CH tandem axle car hauler, 6,000 pound GVWR. All items are sold as is. Awarded bidder must provide payment and remove the items from township property within 15 days of bid award. Removal and transport of the items is the winning bidder's responsibility. And then I have to contact the township to set up an appointment to see the items. Sealed bids must be received at the township building, the address, by 7 PM on April 28th, at which time they will be open during the supervisors meeting, and the board reserves the right to reject any and all bids.
And where would that be advertised?
The local paper,
Okay.
Duncan Record.
Is that gonna reach the most, do you think, or, I
Well,
don't know what else there.
You're kind of,
I just don't
you're
wanna
kind of
sit-
limited
yeah.
these days. There's,
It's either that or Facebook.
yeah.
Well, then
Facebook Marketplace, I mean, that's,
Well,
it's horrible,
you know,
but I
hey,
mean,
but-
that's the times we live in.
I just wanna make sure they're not still sitting here. That's why I
Well,
thought if we.
Well,
could-
the recycling containers,
Yeah.
I will send something to the local people, Cocolamus, CCD,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
or or CCD and Sylvester's and Tiger Trash that, or not, well, Tiger, but Penn Waste
Yeah.
that picks up the cardboard.
Yeah.
They've already expressed an interest in
Oh,
that.
really? Oh, okay.
So my thought was that I would put them out there that way. I mean, I think PSATs may have something as well on their website,
I think they do.
so I could try
Try
that
that.
route as well.
Okay.
I'm not real fond of any of us using our own personal Facebook accounts to put them on.
Yeah,
No,
no,
I don't think that that's a good
No,
idea.
that's not a good idea.
So that's the options that we have.
Okay. And not to be picked, is the Big Tex trailer, is it a car trailer or is it an equipment trailer? Because I think the
I
ramps
looked
might
it
be
up
different.
by the model number.
Oh, it is a-
And I
it's
have
definitely
all
a
the
car.
books and everything with
Good,
it, so.
okay.
It is a car trailer, it's
Good.
listed as a car trailer.
Yeah, we
Okay.
hauled the roller on it, so it's a heavy duty,
6,000 pounds.
yes.
3,000 pound axle.
3,000 pound axle.
Yeah.
Charlie looked at this, when I
Oh,
showed
okay.
this to him.
It's too late for
Okay.
him.
It's what?
We hauled,
Too light.
we
Yeah.
hauled the big heavy
The roll, yeah.
roller on it,
Compact
that's what we
roller.
had it for,
Okay.
but we don't have that anymore, so. So I just
Okay.
need a motion to approve for
Approve
me to
advertising.
get this advertised.
I'll make that motion to
Okay.
approve
And
advertisement.
Charlie, you worked in it already? In a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, advertising for the bids is approved. Thanks for that, Tanya, Charlie, putting it together. Announcements, April 3rd. Pardon?
I said, Tony did most of it.
Oh. That takes us to announcements. So April 3rd, Good Friday, the office will be closed. April 7th, Planning Commission meeting will be right here at 7:30 in the evening. April 28th will be the next supervisor meeting at 7 PM. And then May 1st and 2nd will be the bulk spring cleanup, Friday from 6 AM to 1:45 in the afternoon, and then Saturday from 8 AM till noon. Takes us to approval and payment of the bills, Tanya.
General fund check numbers 18603 to 18620 in the amount of $23,717.90. I had 9 checks that were voided due to a printing error. Payroll checks number 8648 to 8654 in the amount of $5,720.06, no checks void. And payroll checks number 8655 to 8659 in the amount of $5,285.29, no checks void.
Okay, I make a motion to approve payment.
Well,
Okay,
can we-
we've got a question?
Can we make a slight modification to that for the general fund checks Can we do all of them with the exception of 18608?
To Laura Feather, okay. You're making that motion?
I will make that motion. The other, and everything else as is. It's fine.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, payment of those bills, and then I'll make a motion to approve payment of 0018608 in the amount of $417.66 to Laura Fetter. Do we have a second?
Okay, let's see what.
Yeah,
I'll
this is
second.
Sean's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sean's, okay.
Okay, and Sean
I'll
abstains.
abstain.
So payment to Laura is approved. So payment of the bills is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya. That takes us to second part of citizen participation. Do you have any at this time? Yes, ma'am.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, can you say your name, please?
My name is Bethany.
Bethany.
I'm resident of Wright Township, but
Okay.
I've been attending a lot of Carroll Township's meetings lately because of the developers trying to acquire a whole bunch of land for the purpose of a hyperscale data center. I'm sure you guys are aware. My question is Wright Township doing anything currently to amend the zoning ordinances similar to what Carroll Township is currently doing with their zoning ordinances to make it just a little bit more difficult for these data centers to come into Perry County?
Yeah, Sean, go ahead.
As a member of the planning commission, yes, that is a hot topic of discussion,
I'm
actually.
sure it
And that
is.
that is actually at one of the top 3 things on our list right now.
Okay,
So,
perfect.
Yeah.
Could I recommend modeling it after what Carroll Township is doing? They've,
We already have a member that's already done a lot of research already, and he's found several ordinances from actually around the state or whatever that we
Yeah.
have
okay,
that we'll be able to model over.
okay, perfect.
But we'll take a look at what they have too
Yeah,
as
Carroll
well.
Township's doing a really great job, I think, and keeping everything in line with what the residents want. And that is not a data center in their backyard. Or
Yeah.
across the street. So yeah, that's just my question. Is there anywhere online to see the current zoning ordinances, or are they posted on the Wright Township?
Yeah, they're on the website.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Bethany. Okay, going down the list here, Deborah Littleton.
I'm gonna defer to Becky at least.
Okay. Well, let me go down, because you also had Heisley Road update.
And I
Heisley
was
Road.
just wondering if there's any Heisley Road update on when we were getting permits, we were doing things.
Yeah, we just talked before, what's the latest on that?
So the permit application has been submitted. They came back with some additional questions and it's been resubmitted with whatever they had asked for.
That was part of one of the invoices that we just approved to be
Yeah.
signed for the engineers.
So, I believe the permit could take up to 6 months to get, but we're still hopeful that we'll get it this summer and that we can try to get it done as quickly as possible.
Okay. That takes us to Rebecca Schulze regarding the park.
Yep. The RTCA held our annual Easter egg hunt on Sunday. It was well attended with 40 kids hunting eggs. We actually there was no parking, even in front of the township building. It was packed full. I want to thank the former Rye Township Rec Board members who helped to make the event a success. We appreciate all their help and hope for continued support from them and the community to make events like these going forward. I want to tell you about the township in Pennsylvania where my dad lives. One township supervisor was extremely adamant that a resident could not have a tea business on her agricultural zone property. The other 2 supervisors went along with it, and the township took the resident to county court to stop them. After an extremely costly fight, which the township lost, the township was left essentially broke from their attorney fees and the judgment they had to pay the resident. Due to this, property owners received a 60% increase in their tax bill this year. The bill went from 1 mil to 1.6. While one supervisor led the charge, all 3 put the township in the state that they are in. Residents now pay the price in hundreds of dollars in increased property taxes. Rye Township has spent over $25,000 on this lawsuit through the end of January. Based on the last 2 months of invoices from our solicitor, you're at another 13 total. Maybe half of that is on this lawsuit. We are not even a quarter of the way through the legal process. The residents of the township will never see a return on the taxpayer money spent. This never should have gone this far or as long, and should have ended in June when the RTCA offered to provide this township with what we submitted to DEP. Each supervisor should ask themselves, does continuing these lawsuits have any benefit for the residents of Rye Township? Would you spend your own personal money on a lawyer to fight this? The only one benefiting from the lawsuits continuing is DPM. I'm sure they will not be refunding their fees charged or paying for any judgment against the township. The RTCA was under the impression that a settlement was going to be worked out to end the lawsuits, as your attorney suggested this in January at the court hearing. We're still waiting for a meeting to occur or a counter settlement agreement to be submitted to us. Please sit down with us. Let's resolve the issue for the betterment of the community and the residents. It's a waste to be spending all this money on deathless Pykosh and Murphy at this point. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment, Rebecca. John Schulze?
Thank you.
Yep.
So I would like to follow up with what Becky mentioned about this township and wasting taxpayer funds. I wonder if all three supervisors know the cost of this lawsuit. I have made right-to-know requests to obtain the invoices from when this targeting started over a year ago. As of the end of January, the township has wasted over $25,000 in targeting the park and the RTCA. I have the invoices and will provide them at the end of the meeting, as all three supervisors should be reviewing what is being charged by this soliciting firm. In addition to this soliciting firm has been completing the right-to-know requests instead of the office staff. Requests over the last year only asked for past permits and invoices. These are basic requests of items from the office, but instead, the soliciting firm, which we've seen over 5 different attorneys at these supervisor meetings, seems to charge hundreds of dollars to review and complete each response. Of my requests over the last year, in association with this lawsuit, the costs listed on the invoices are between $500 and $1,000. Why is our taxpayer money being wasted on basic right-to-know requests for information when our new secretary seems more than capable to look for invoices and past permits? I do also want to bring to your attention the redactions that are being made to invoices incorrectly by this soliciting firm. Past Office of Open Records cases do not allow for redactions on attorney invoices, so I could file an appeal. But knowing this ends up affecting us taxpayers, an appeal was not filed. In the past, there was never a blatant waste of taxpayer money on legal matters like this, whether it be bad lawsuits that have no benefit to residents or for completing right-to-know requests. Also in the past, a solicitor did not attend every township supervisor meeting until Deathless Pykosh and Murphy became our solicitor. Now it seems this township cannot function without them. Maybe it's time for a change. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment, John. Jackie, you're next on the list.
I have a concern about the trees on the Landscape Road on the Cumberland County side. I know it's not our responsibility, but
Talking about the one as soon as you get onto their side, there's one hanging over.
the whole road is horrible. I mean, that tree that just fell down this weekend could have killed somebody. It dented.
You're talking at the bottom there where they have like a bunch laying right
guardrail?
off to the
No,
side.
at the top.
Oh, it's at the top, okay.
It crushed that guardrail
Mm-hmm.
halfway down. That could have,
Jackie, was that the one yesterday morning? The one on, it was just on the other side? It was in Cumberland County.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's bad down at the bottom there where the,
I've called
I
them
hope his PPL gets
numerous
installed.
times. I've emailed them and they don't care. I'm like, you guys gotta cut these trees back.
Yeah, I don't
Somebody,
know.
every time there's an ice storm, a windstorm,
I don't know who
another
owns
tree
that
comes
property.
down.
Do you know, is that
I'm not sure.
some of that, where the trees are coming?
I think a lot of it's all state game land.
Mm-hmm.
I did get an
Yeah.
email back.
Because You don't get.
And they
those
said-
property owners to-
Now, this was last year. They said they went up and looked at it and there's no concerns. Like for the whole that whole side.
Yeah, well,
I can tell you if it is state game lands, that they are very touchy because
Oh,
they rained Brad and Johnny out before for trimming their trees without their permission.
Yeah,
So
the
any
township
work
has
we do
tried
there,
to-
we have to ask
Yeah.
permission
And get permission.
and get
Not
permission.
just ask.
Right,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, we did just recently.
Well,
We
pick
did
the
some,
tree.
we
How
did some,
the
well,
three?
that was the ones that we had, what's his name come in and do because they were
Right,
too big.
but how did we get?
Johnny got in touch with
Johnny
Game
got in
Commission and
touch.
got permission.
He has his own personal
Yeah.
guy with the game commission.
Can we have Johnny reach out, in case though that leaner that we're talking about up there is game
But if it's
commission,
not
right?
on
I'm
our
not sure.
It's not on our
It's not on
side.
our
No, but I mean, he, at least if he has the connection, maybe he can contact Hampton and let them know, hey, here's the guy that I spoke with, that we got results with.
Okay.
Because we have no legal ability
Right.
to go up
I
there.
don't know, I think they don't care about it because they know we use it.
Hmm.
We use that stretch of road. And I swear they don't wanna maintain it because
Doesn't benefit
Yeah.
Well, they're
everybody.
getting
doesn't-
good fuels money for it.
the secretary said that
And we
they would
spend
have
our
to
money
hire
there.
an outside
Yeah.
company to do it.
Well, that's what we had to do with the last 3
Right,
weeks.
I'm like, it's Hampton Township, you
Yeah.
have more money than you know to do it.
I'll see what we can do internally.
Yeah.
If, like, I'll get Johnny to talk to the
Thank you.
game commission and then maybe we can I can send something over or call Hampton.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, because a
And in
while
the
back there,
summer, it
yeah.
looks like a jungle. You're driving
Yeah.
through a,
Yeah, some of it, and even private property, we had one on 850, and again, 850 is not our road, so, you know, we're limited what we can do there, but a big tree hanging over and we can't make a property owner do something about it, unfortunately. But thanks for bringing it to our attention. We'll have Johnny contact the connection at the
Yeah.
game commission, because that's the
Right.
only option we have. Thank you.
mhm.
Okay,
I do want to speak. I
Yeah,
want to
Deb.
defer to them first regarding the lawsuit against the RTCA. I'm sorry, I have to read this because the brain goes. It's unfair as a resident of Rye Township to sit in the Rye Township Supervisors Meeting month after month and have no resolution to the lawsuit you filed against the RTCA. It is unfair as a resident of Rye Township to have no full accounting of what it is costing the residents of Rye Township. It is unfair as a resident of Rye Township to have to sit in the dark month after month with no update or status on the lawsuit. You have copies of the correspondence from DEP that there was not a requirement for a permit for this project. You have heard comments regarding the RTCA's willingness to work with you for a resolution. You have had several resignations from the RTCA due to their frustration and your refusal to come to the table and resolve this issue. What about the cost to us taxpayers? It's unfair that you sit here month after month wasting our tax dollars that could be used in much better ways. What do you feel you're gaining with this lawsuit? What do you feel you are gaining with this lawsuit? The satisfaction maybe of winning? And if you do win, what did you win? Do you think the RTCA is flesh and money and they're going to be able to pull out their fat checkbook and write a check for resolution? Charlie, I'm talking to you now.
I'm listening.
Thank you for your willingness to come and be a township supervisor again. Thank you. Would you please get a full accounting of what this is costing us? Would you please help us get this situation and issue resolved quickly? Would you please work with the RTCA to resolve this issue? Thank you.
thank you, Deb, for your comment. Okay. Motion to adjourn,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, folks, for coming out. It is 8:18.